More sparks flying at the second night of the latest Democratic debates. Kayla Tausche is in Detroit. She joins us with more on what she saw last night. Kayla, good morning.
Good morning, Becky. Candidates took direct aim at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris as they tried to level the support out among a big field where that support is concentrated firmly among four frontrunners here. Vice President Biden sustained repeated attacks for his record on immigration, race, women's rights, and trade. Senator Harris on her health care plan and her record as a prosecutor and her jailing of those who committed minor drug offenses. In 3 hours of sparring on a wide range of policies, though, there was one theme that emerged, and that was Democrats argue that the Trump economy is not working.
There are a lot of Americans right now that are hurting. Ask fast food workers that I joined a couple of weeks ago that are working for minimum wage and can't provide for their families or pay the rent.
So many people feel like the economy has left them behind. What we have to do is we have to say, look, there's record high GDP and stock market prices. You know what else are at record highs? Suicides, drug overdoses, depression, anxiety.
The approach that President Trump has taken has been extremely volatile, without any clear strategic plan, and it has a ravaging and devastating effect on our domestic manufacturers.
It has resulted in American families spending as much as $1.4 billion more a month on everything from shampoo to washing machines. He betrayed the American people. He betrayed American families.
Now, despite the criticism, there weren't many alternatives that were offered up to the Trump policies that they say have hurt the economy. The cutoff for the next debate, guys, is in less than a month, August 28th. So the next few weeks are going to be crucial for these candidates to get out onto the campaign trail and try to shore up any voter support if they have a chance at making that next debate in Houston. Many of them will hit the trail at the Iowa State Fair next week, and we'll see what happens then. Back to you.
Kayla, are there more debates scheduled, and how many people will not be there?
Well, there is one more debate scheduled that's on the calendar right now. It's September 12th in Houston. It's hosted by ABC and Univision, and they say that if there are 10 candidates or fewer, it will only take place on one night. So there's been an expectation that the field will be roughly cut in half from the 20 candidates that were on stage this week to about 10. That being said, the thresholds are 2% in the polling and 130,000 individual donors. So there could be a lot of candidates, if some of this support broadens out, that could end up qualifying on both of those metrics if they can get enough small dollar donations and enough support in the polls.
Is the DNC happy with the idea that they have 20 plus candidates running, or are they regretting the idea that they made some of those thresholds so low?
Well, I think they wanted to give these early debates, to give all the candidates a chance to introduce themselves to the American people. A lot of these members of Congress specifically were not household names, and they wanted to give them an opportunity to at least say, hey, here's me, this is my platform, although they acknowledge now that there needs to be a steep drop-off in the number of candidates and in the support thresholds that actually create those qualification rounds.
So the big question, though, on this approach is, did it move the needle? Meaning, was there the top five, I think, are still the top five. Was there somebody who somehow broke through over in these early debates that somehow changed the conversation and sort of jumped into a group that they would not have otherwise been in? Is there a view that somebody's done that?
Night one, no. Night two, potentially. I mean, the one candidate that's really being talked about after last night is the New Jersey Senator Cory Booker. He's been described as a happy warrior akin to Ronald Reagan, with a lot of these breakout moments where he was able to enter the fray without detracting from his own positive demeanor. So Booker is being talked about as having a good night, but there are also about half a dozen candidates. Michael Bennet, the senator from Colorado, Kirsten Gillibrand from New York, and Tulsi Gabbard, the Hawaii congresswoman who went directly after Senator Harris on her record as a prosecutor. That was one of the most viral moments from last night, and it potentially has propelled Gabbard into the polls. She was at 0%, so clearly there's quite a ways to go, but there's an idea that, you know, the polls in the immediate aftermath of this second night are really going to be key to see whether, if any, of those candidates have been able to make the leap.